Let me first ask you, sir, how do you evaluate the elections of today?
There were security issues, a lot of security incidents. That was very unfortunate. And also there have been rigging here and there, and in some areas very widespread. And that's also very unfortunate. But apart from that, the people of Afghanistan participated in the elections, and they discarded the threats, and turnout was not as good as it was like a few years ago. But still, I think in overall sense, this was a message from the people of Afghanistan that the people wanted change, and they took risk, and they voted. So overall, I'm okay with it.
Sir, you came with your manifesto of hope and change. If you become the next president, how will you implement your manifesto to address the problem of Afghanistan politically and economically and socially?
The philosophy behind this is participation, people's participation. In today's situation, it is like one office ruling the country. Yes, a team ruling the country. That's as a result of that sort of attitude, the gap between the people and the government has grown, and that has led to the weakness of the state, and as a result of which the certain other weaknesses have developed, like Taliban have taken use of that and capitalized on that and have gained the strength. So by bridging that gap between the people and the administration, by making the people true participant in their own destiny, in governance and politics and developmental process and security, in all that, I will bring that change. Yes, so it will be a change from one person rule to a change of people's rule. Okay, that will have its impact on the whole situation.
As you know, Taliban is a major problem, and in your agenda, what do you have? Will you agree to negotiate and bring Taliban on board to negotiate with them to solve the security issues that is the major concern of the Afghan people and also the international community?
I'll reach out to the people of Afghanistan wherever they are, okay? In all corners of Afghanistan, south, east, north, south, center, okay? And that will be my strategy. There will be people that, in spite of that, reaching out, they will continue the war. Their agenda is beyond national interest. That sort of people, I think, will continue, unfortunately, their efforts to bring the state down. But then there will be a lot of other people who need an opportunity to be given to them, to be provided for them, so they can embrace peaceful life. For them, the door will be open. Afghanistan has a richness of different ethnic groups living together, and that forms Afghanistan, and that makes Afghan as an identity. So in that sense, and isolate those who would like to continue war at any cost, at any circumstances. This will be the strategy. Any effort as such should be Afghan-led, and we welcome support from other partners. So the effort itself should be Afghan-led, Afghan-guided, and the support from the partners will be welcomed.
There are some people are calling for these troops should leave Afghanistan. How do you evaluate that? How do you see that?
I think the presence of the troops are needed at the moment, but my view is that 8 years down the road, now it's 8 years almost since the Bonn Agreement, yes, just a few months, less than 8 years, we should have been in a situation to say that we need lesser troops, yes, rather than more troops. Unfortunately, that opportunity with the presence of the troops here in Afghanistan was not utilized in the best way. So we have missed some opportunities. So my view is that while the presence might be needed for a few more years, during that period we should build the strength among the Afghan institutions, among the society as a whole, so we will be able to stand on our own feet.
Drugs is a major problem faced here in Afghanistan. In your agenda, how will you address this problem? How will you eradicate this menace from Afghanistan?
I think it has a few levels of importance which has to be dealt with at those levels. One is the level of drug traffickers. There we have to be tough, yes? If you allow the drug traffickers to walk around freely and to make fortunes out of that, and then to press the farmers not to cultivate, but will not work, yes? The next level is the level of farmers. That's, I think, there we should provide substitute for them, alternative livelihood, alternative sources of development, okay? So they have an opportunity. And the third part is, which has been ignored, is the addicts. Unfortunately, the number is very high at this stage. They say that it's hundreds of thousands. This will be a big burden on the society in the future. So this full circle of recovery for the addicts, alternative livelihood for the farmers, in being tough on drug traffickers and law enforcement measures, strengthening that, the combination of three will bring results.
Let me, sir, take you from the interior issues to the foreign policy. How will you deal with your neighboring country in your agenda, in your manifesto, if you become the president?
Yes, improvement of relations with neighboring countries should be one of the priorities. And that priority has to be given more attention. We need assurances from our neighboring countries. Our neighboring countries need assurances from our side. So based on that, we can deal with the threats which are common, and we can utilize the opportunities which are common. So I'm hopeful that the situation will change for better.